sorry, we were at our table just discussing the TRC, and before that I think everybody was probably daydreaming about what their favorite flavor is at Chili Fillmore's because they're frozen yogurt. But I'd like to thank you all once again for coming today and taking time out of your busy day. The Fourth Friday Luncheon is a wonderful opportunity for networking that the Chamber provides. It's a wonderful benefit of being a member of the Chamber. Another great benefit of being a member of the Chamber is the opportunity to be a part of the Chamber Directory and MAP, the official publications for the Chamber. It is time once again, we're actually kicking off the 2012 issue of the Chamber Directory and MAP, and we love the opportunity to talk to you and your business about showcasing your business to all the thousands of people that come to Nacogdoches, that are seeking information about Nacogdoches, possibly to move here, the SFA students, SFA faculty, NISD teachers. They're both very well-used resources, and we really would appreciate the opportunity. There are some flyers and information outside, but you can also contact anybody at Point A Media. Michelle Peck is here, and Kendall Rogers with Point A Media. They can help you at any time. Today we're very honored to have our speaker, Dr. Tara Newman. She is an SFA alumna and is a faculty member in the School of Human Sciences. She is a certified family life educator and holds a current Texas bilingual educator certification and is experienced working on all levels of education, K through 12, undergraduate and graduate. Dr. Newman has been involved in a variety of educational quality enhancement programs over the last 15 years and is currently serving as the Director of Office of High Impact Practices at SFA. Make It Impact at SFA project is a recent initiative at SFA that is designed to enhance students' learning and academic success. Today's students have an access to more information than ever, as we all know, but the thinking skills needed to use that information effectively are often lacking. Today we're going to learn about how the role of our local businesses and these platforms and how our organization possibly can benefit from this initiative. Dr. Newman is, as she said, is a proud SFA grad. She was born in Houston but got to Nacogdoches as quick as she could. She is the proud mom. Between her and her husband, they have 7 children. And she likes to say that she's had a 24-hour lab experience raising kids, her big family. So please help me welcome Dr. Tara.
Our students, I teach in the Child Development and Family Living program, and so our students have to do lab experiences. So when they complain that they have to do an hour and a half a week, I say, nothing to complain about. Try a 24-hour day. Try the 24-hour day blessing of parenting. Today, though, what I'm going to talk to you about is the quality enhancement plan at Stephen F. Austin. Can you hear me okay without a mic?
You wouldn't mind using it for
Really
recording.
All right, I'll use the microphone. We're going to talk today about the quality enhancement plan at Stephen F. Austin State University, which is, as you know, called Make It Impact at SFA. Today is just to provide you an overview. We're going to look at kind of the who, what, when, where, and why about the quality enhancement plan, what we're doing, and all of the different components of it. So first, let's stop and talk about why we're doing this, because that's an important piece of this project. First and foremost, we are engaging in this project to enhance our students' learning at our institution. We've looked at a variety of data to determine what our students need the most. We've looked at a tremendous amount of literature, and we've gotten lots of input. In fact, over the last 2 years, we've gotten input from students, we've gotten input from faculty, we've gotten input from alum, we've gotten input from businesses locally. We've solicited your input as well, and we've received quite a bit of input. So we understand that our students have some particular needs. One of those is to increase their abilities to think using higher order thinking skills, which I'm going to define for you in just a moment. Basically, though, that's being able to use the knowledge that we're giving them in the classroom, right? Then, and a very important piece of this, the rationale for engaging in this project is that it is associated with our reaffirmation through the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. We go through that process every 10 years, and that is a very important part of higher education. Without regional accrediting, without the regional accreditation, our students would not be able to get financial aid, for example. They would not be able to transfer their courses to other institutions. Their degrees may not be recognized by potential employers. So it's a very important thing to be accredited by one of our regional accrediting agencies. So it's very important. And it's a big sell for our students and potential students. You know, we want you to come to SFA. We are accredited. That's very important. Okay, so we're doing this project for both of those reasons. The focus of the Quality Enhancement Plan, the Make an Impact project, is twofold. One, we have the goal of increasing our students' higher order thinking skills. We also want to increase some of our institutional outcomes in terms of student success. So to define student success, we're looking at students' overall grade point averages. We're looking at persistence from the first year to the second year. There's quite a bit of research out there that indicates that if students leave our institution after that first year, they tend to go nowhere. I mean, nowhere else, no other institution. So that's not good. We want them to stay with us. We also want to make sure that they stay with us long enough to graduate. So we're looking at those three indicators of student success. That's how we're defining that. So that's what we're doing. That's why we're doing it, rather. What we're doing is we're implementing this multifaceted support system for faculty to incorporate high-impact practices into their classrooms, particularly in gateway courses. So we've got a target of students in the freshman year. We want them to have at least one high-impact practice in their freshman year. And then the other gateway courses are gateway into the major, so maybe in their junior year as they're entering into their major coursework. And the other gateway would be as they're gatewaying into the workplace, so a senior capstone course or an internship, something like that. Our goal is to have students have at least two of these experiences, one in the freshman year and one in those upper level courses. Okay, so let's pause for just a minute because you're probably all going, well, what is high impact practice? What the heck is that, right? So there are many, many ways that high impact practices can be implemented into a program, into a classroom. The basic similarity among all of those is that they have these 6 features to them, and you can all read, so I'm not going to read them for you word by word, but basically we want students to spend significant amount of time engaged in their work. So many of you may remember a time where you, and certainly not at a university level I hope, but you've seen worksheets, students are given an assignment that they may complete in a very short amount of time that they don't have to really invest themselves in. That would not be high impact, that would be low, very low impact. So we want students to spend a significant amount of time collaborating with other students and working on meaningful tasks. Okay? We also want faculty and students to interact with one another, and we want students to interact with their peers over matters that are really important matters. And that varies according to discipline, obviously, right? So we want them to talk about those things, to interact together, not just student to student and not just faculty to student, but with students themselves and with faculty. So very often you may see, of course not SFA, but you may see in places where a faculty member would get up and give a lecture. I mean, I know I have been in that kind of classroom, and I'm sure most of you have been in that kind of classroom at some point, where a faculty member gets up and kind of does what I'm doing, which is not very comfortable, to just stand up and just talk to you. As you know, we can hold attention for about 20 minutes, and then we start zoning off, right? That's not the best way for students to learn. So we want students to be able to have a lot of interaction in their courses. Now, with that interaction, we hope that they will interact with people who are different than themselves. So I was part of the pilot program that incorporated a version of high impact practices in the spring, and I personally looked at different characteristics of students and intentionally grouped them together as with the most diverse characteristics that I could, okay? Because what do? If we say go get in a group, we're going to get with people we know, or we're going to get with people who have characteristics that are similar to us, people that we're most comfortable with, and that's just not the way that the real world works, right? When you get out to the workplace, you're asked to work with people who may be very different than yourself, may have very different beliefs or different values and different backgrounds. So we want our students to have that experience while they're with us at the institution. We want to make sure that students get frequent feedback. And this goes beyond just receiving a grade on an assignment. So here you have a 98 on the assignment. Great, move on, right? No, we want students to have very direct, specific feedback. You got a 98. This is why you got a 98. This is how you could have made more points. This is how you could have been better. This is, whatever the case might be. We want to have that feedback that is specific and direct and frequent, not just a grade at the end of the semester or a grade on an exam or a grade on an assignment. It goes beyond grades, really. We also, most importantly probably, is that we want students to see how what they're learning translates into the rest of their life. In the classroom, obviously, but also in their personal lives, in their careers, out in the real world, as they like to say, the students like to say to us, well, how am I going to use algebra in the real world? You are. Let me show you how. So those sorts of things are very, very important. And then also another important factor is connections. We want students to make personal connections with one another and with faculty and with businesses and with others at the personal level, but also at the professional level, so that they have some of those experiences. So this could be a whole half-day, full-day workshop talking about all these. That's just a basic overview. When we say high-impact practices, it's practices that include these elements. Now, we have narrowed those down to 3 specific platforms that we're targeting to incorporate those elements. Remember I told you that our students are going to experience one of these things one of these experiences in their freshman year. Well, we have decided that we're going to have as many freshmen as we can, ideally all freshmen, but it won't be probably all of them at first. They will go through coursework that specifically, directly teaches them how to work collaboratively and engages them in some sort of collaborative learning experience. And that's very important because the other 2 platforms that they will experience in their upper level coursework, more likely than not, will engage them with other people. They will be asked to work collaboratively, so these students will have a background in how to do that effectively. Not only that, they're asked to work in groups in many of their coursework. The feedback that we've received from employers as higher education, not specifically as a FA, is that is an area that employers need their employees to be more proficient at, okay, to work better in groups. So we're doing collaborative learning with freshman students. We're doing that within the SFA 101 class, which is the Freshman Success course. Tim Clipson is the director or coordinator of that program, and he has been wonderful at recruiting instructors who are teaching in that program right now. We have 14 faculty members or instructors, faculty and staff, who are going through right now the development process in learning more about collaborative learning. What is it really? What is collaborative learning? Is it different than cooperative learning? And what kinds of things can you do in your classroom to ensure that students are working collaboratively, or to increase the likelihood that they're working collaboratively? And then they're developing their plans to do that, and they'll be implementing that this fall. Then, when students get up at the upper level, we want them to experience one or both of these next platforms. One is what we're calling Mentored Undergraduate Scholarship. This started out being called undergraduate research, but not every area looks at the term research the same, and so we want to make sure that we're including, like the College of Fine Arts, for example. They have a different type of scholarship, perhaps, than the College of Science and Math, but it is equally as valuable. So we're calling it Scholarship, Mentored Undergraduate Scholarship, MUGS for short, like our acronyms. And so the faculty will be beginning this fall. We'll have 12 faculty members and 2 research librarians who will be on that, in that faculty learning community is what we're calling it.